What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dan Banks, aka DJ Fine, CEO of JTU. We are Jersey Magazine and Jersey Diamonds, and I'm here with my homie, Cash Johnson.
What's up, y'all?
You already know, catching up with Cash. That's what we're doing today. We're catching up with Cash Johnson. You know, he was in our issue earlier this year. This guy's been doing so much since the last time we linked up. He said he has drank his coffee today. He's not as tired as he was last time. So he got a lot of information for us to share with us today, man.
I got time today.
Definitely got to catch up with Cash. So my brother Cash went to sit back, relax, but let's talk for a little bit.
What's up?
You already know. So even during this whole COVID-19 business, right? You've still been out here busting out moves. Before you were busting out moves. So now let's catch up real quick, right? So you have your clothing line out, right? It's called Creating Waves. Tell me about what inspired you to start that clothing line.
I always, I seen a lot of people, especially people I was growing up with, they would like be beasting over like big name brands like Gucci, Polo, Off-White, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And I just always wanted to have my own shit, because we come up, I looked up after 50, Wayne, and they all got their clothing lines and stuff like that, right? So I'm a creative, so I named mine Creating Waves. So I got some being printed by y'all, right?
Yeah. Shout out to E9, print out some boy stuff.
Yeah,
most definitely.
For real. So I just wanted something that would appeal to the creative, being that, I create music and I'm friends with a lot of creatives. So I just wanted to make something that people could relate to and feel like, I'm comfortable with this. You know what I'm saying? So it's called Creating Waves, and it's for, if you're a creative, you could be a barber, you could be doing interviews, anything that, pertains to you being creative is a brand for you. And it pertains to surfers too a little bit, because I use the waves and beaches. Right.
And with your logo and everything, like you said, it's very unique. You got the Creative Waves, but you also got visors, you got socks, shirts, hoodies, you name it. But you also been having some placements in like stores too. So tell me about what's the process of being a creative and actually seeing your product like in stores, selling? You know what I'm saying? And you just started this whole wave, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so tell me about that.
It's a great feeling. You really just gotta get out there and just start using your mouthpiece. I just went out there and just started networking with people who had stores and telling them about my clothing line. It was a little hard in the beginning, but you just gotta be persistent like with anything else. And I'm not gonna lie, man, walking in the mall, because the first store I got in was East Brunswick Mall. Shout out to my boy Terrell.
Definitely. Yeah.
So when I moved to the town I live in, we was going to that mall all the time. You know what I'm saying? And to see my clothes in the mall, it was like, especially because he looked me out. He put me right in front of the store. You know what I'm saying? So to see that, I'm like, yo, damn, like kind of like a sense like I made it type shit. Like I'm in the mall. Like, you know what I mean? So that felt good. And then a new store that opened up kind of relatively close to where I live. It's called European Fashion. Okay. I'm not European, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just went in there and I just told him a little bit about my brand, and he gave me a shot. And to see my stuff in his store, they just opened back up. So I went to go check on the clothes,
see how I was doing,
after COVID, because they were closed down right after I got it in. So we couldn't really do numbers like that. But now that they're open back up, I see my stuff hanging up top. It's just really a good feeling. It just pushes me to go further.
That's awesome. And as an artist, and actually having this entrepreneurial mindset, you already have that grind mentality.
Right.
And sometimes a lot of artists, they don't want to always push to that next level. Beyond the music, they want to stay in the music, which is great too sometimes. But what makes you actually go outside of the music, and then now it almost gives you another avenue or another lane of networking on top of the music you already and music industry you're already involved with now. So it makes you kind of go outside the box and bring it to your own brand, and then now bring it back to your music.
Was the question what made me do that? Because I felt like I'm great at making music. I'm great at rapping, but I feel like us as young black men, we have different talents. We great at a lot of things, and I just spent a lot of my energy making music. But I always knew if I put my energy, just a little bit of my energy somewhere else, I could accomplish something else. So I always wanted to see what I could, what other things I could accomplish other than music. Because I just don't want to be a person like, he only knows how to rap and that's all he knows how to do. So, and I was feeling like that for a long time. Like I'm not good at certain things that other people are good at, but I know I can rap my ass off, and I'm creative. I can design some shit. So I just, put the two together. And I just made it happen, really.
That's right.
I was smoking, to be honest. I was writing, I was smoking.
You got real creative. All the creative juices was rolling.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh shit, I want to create a little clothing line. And that's how it happened.
That's
I ain't got no story of, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was in the car one day, my shit broke down.
but that's real though, like that. You just, like you said, you took it back to your mind frame, to what used to what made you happy before. You were like, you know what? You know, I'm chilling, I'm vibing. Let me draw something real quick, and then it just became this whole vision. And now you in stores, people know about it, we know about it. You know, getting it printed out. And now, what was the process of developing like a budget for that? Like, was it just something you were just like, let's go for it, or was it something that you really had to plan out? Because I think we need to really know, like, as creators and getting into fashion, just like music, like the studio time and what you spend on that and the promotion and marketing. It's the same concept that kind of what goes into fashion. So tell me about like almost how you have to balance both, because now you got two worlds that you're balancing under one roof.
You talking about as far as like budgeting?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't sit down with a notebook. I did actually. I sat down and I was like, okay, this is how much this is gonna cost. And you know, when you're first starting up, I was only getting a couple t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to wait, so I just took what I had. And I was like, I'm gonna take what I got and put it in the t-shirts. I'm gonna use this t-shirt money to put that back in my music and pay my other bills and shit like that. But then you know how life is, like when that shit happened, like I think I was working at the time, then you lose your job, so you gotta use the re-up money from your t-shirts, everyday shit. And then it's like, fuck, I can't re-up my t-shirt. So it's just a grind. I'm sure I'm not the only person who goes through that. Everybody goes through that shit, but it's definitely, you gotta sit down and have a little bit of thought.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now with your creating ways, I'm sure like, when we see your videos and stuff, we're going to see nothing but creative ways.
I was mad I couldn't wear that. I got old shirts. I got the new ones getting printed, but I'm like, all right, nah, that's cool.
But with the whole creative wave vibe and everything, right?
Yeah.
And now you have this new EP out that dropped March 30th, 2020, you know, the Art Room, on all streaming platforms. It is fire, like fire. Of course, you know, we had to listen to it before we got here, and wait a couple days before we got here. But while we was here, we listened to it again. But with that EP and everything, right? You expanded like so much your horizon as far as like just your whole music vibe, right? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about like now we got Cash singing. Like Cash is stretching his vocals, his voice. He's stringing, he's vibing, he's singing, he's vibing. It's dope. So what made you like kind of flip everything? It's almost like you really took the time out to be like, you know what, I really want to explore this music game deeper, but it works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously the cover art, by the way, is fire. That cover art is like, I was like, that's Cash Johnson all the way. You know,
I thought of that. That's I ain't draw, but I thought of it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, like the creativeness is just expanding. So tell me about creating the Art Room and that process for you, and kind of like you said, stretching your vocals, expanding your horizon with your music talent.
Okay, so when I'm writing, I like to consider it the art room. You know what I'm saying? That's my space and where I create. So if you look at the cover, I got like the mad scientist vibe going with the chemicals in the background, a laptop,
static,
So that's basically what it's like when you create music, because I never wanted to get too comfortable and just doing one thing. So I always looked up to Lil Wayne. That's my favorite rapper. I think we discussed that last time. So he was always trying new things, and I always wanted to try new things. And I know sometimes I listen to a lot of R&B on my downtime. You know what I'm saying? So I be thinking I can sing and shit like that. So I always wanted to try my own little singing, and I just put my twist to it, and you know, I came up with the Art Room. But I just wanted to give a project where it just sounded different, not something that you would just ordinarily
expect from you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to keep doing. I have another project that I'm gonna drop soon, but after that project, I just want to get back on the singing and the R&B type shit. That's I think I'm an R&B.
Absolutely, and you know, and it's dope that you're actually able to explore, and it works. You know, at the end of the day, it works. You know, we always talk about staying in your lane and then growing in that aspect, but you were like, you know what? I like R&B. I like the vibe. I'm just gonna go for it. And if you listen to She Got Her Own, that joint is fire. Like these guys really singing on the track. Like he's like, why? Cash was singing. I'm like, oh, so he took it from the car to the studio. Like,
shower in the studio.
Exactly. And that's fire. But so now, obviously, you're always working, right? So you got another project. You said possibly dropping in like August. So what's that project looking like? Like, what kind of Cash Johnson are we seeing now in this upcoming project towards the end of the summer?
I'm going back to my roots with this project. Like you heard the song "What It Take." It's just real. It's a lot of truth in it. I mean, all my music has a lot of truth in it, but this, I just wanted to give you my flaws. I wanted to give you more aggression. I wanted to give you more grittiness, more bars. So like, I normally don't take advice when it comes to my music from other people, but I do take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So I was talking to somebody who's head of a publishing company, and what he was telling me, he was like, yo, your stuff is dope, but he was like, yo, like, you need to slow it down a little bit. And usually I don't take, I'll be like, who are you to tell me to slow my shit down?
Right,
That's
right.
how I was feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I will slow it down a little bit. He was like, you gotta sound like you from Jersey. And I hate when people say that, because it's like, I'm me, I don't want to sound like I'm from Jersey. Like, I just want to sound like me.
Sound like you, right.
But this project is very East Coast, it's very gritty, it's just my truth, and it's just, it's just
and even with the single that you brought up, What It Take, also on all streaming platforms, make sure you go check it out. He was talking about like real stuff like poverty and making like, so what does it take to like get out?
Yeah.
What does it take to really like stay motivated, push yourself beyond what's the norm to you?
Facts.
So like when so like you said, that's going back to your roots. Like doing what it takes, what's going back to your roots. So even in that truth, from what we spoke about a couple months ago, like what kind of aspect did you put on that track?
So I'm like, I'm just telling you that real shit, because a lot of people, they might show you the interview with me and Banks right now. They're gonna show you that, but they don't show, and they're gonna show you in the strip club with the strippers, but they don't tell you that you gotta be in that strip club possibly fucking 5 times in a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said, I forget what I said. I said, I said, what it take to get here? I said, we put miles on them tires, but I swear we had some good years. Every night there wasn't footage, because you was on your dolo. And what they don't know is 50 at the go-go. 20 for the doorman, that was 30 left over. 10 for a drink just to calm your nerves. And you hit with a USB to get a DJ, just hoping he will play your shit.
Wow.
And if he did, then you let that other $20 rip and you spread it out. These are routes they don't tell you about, that I'm gonna tell you about. Meld yourself your lyrics so your shit can get protected. Finance the fairly new whip so you can flex with and put yourself in debt with every other piece of change you got. You invested in the studio session, or you put that shit in t-shirts. Treading water with my goals big. Long road never folded. You say they laughed at you, but welcome to showbiz.
Right, and so and at first I can relate to definitely the whole strip club thing, like understanding that. But with because we be vibing, we be vibing, you know what I'm saying. But even with that aspect, understand, like you said, as an artist going to those kind of events and everything like that, not just for relax and chill pleasure. You going out there to work. You saying going out there with $50, spending $20 to get inside, trying to give the DJ another $20.
Drink because you buy yourself on your nerves and shit.
And they got another 20 gone. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. Like what is going on? Like that's dope, bro. That you put that truth in that music. And that's the Cash Johnson that we always be vibing with, like that truth. But like you said, then now you're gonna be telling the truth, but you're gonna be also like doing the singing part of it too. Like
not on this.
This man, I can't wait to know. Whenever both of these albums drop, it's just gonna be lit, period. But I mean, so now getting back to the gritty and everything, so would you say that going through this COVID-19, right, and pushing this next album out where you're gonna be just talking all the bars and everything, that you're gonna actually have more stories to tell? Because everything that you talk about is definitely a story. What It Takes is a story, Art Room is a story, like everything is always about stories with you. So like, what could you say, like some things that you probably have experienced that you are actually going to be, I want to say petitioning on this next album, or even pushing and letting like the message be?
You talking about throughout the COVID?
Yeah.
I don't really have any messages that I was going through the COVID, because like, I'm an artist, so like majority of the times I don't go out anyway unless I'm promoting, but I like to stay in the crib, write my little music. That's what I like to do. But it definitely brought out a bigger side of my artistry, because I'm not going out promoting. So it's just like I have more time just to write.
Yeah.
So I got this song called Brenda's Baby, in which a lot of people like. So I'm talking about, Pac had a song called Brenda's Had a Baby.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of talking about, like, I met her, she grew up now, and this is the type of person she is. You know what I'm saying? So I got Brenda's Baby on there. I got Welcome to the Real Me, where I'm just really spilling my truth out. I'm talking about like how like you can have friends. I said closest homies don't even post your shit, and they wonder why I act like this. I got a right to. I said I wouldn't say I'm spiteful. Something else, I forget what I said. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just it's just the real me. If people get offended by it, then you were supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just me, and I'm not doing no extra shit. I'm just telling you the truth.
That's fine.
All this shit is just true shit.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, let's say Cash Johnson's in the building, man. You heard it first. Cash, please somebody can book you, follow you, bro. Like,
hold on, we not done. Hold on. I gotta see. I also last time since we came here, I've been in a couple TV shows.
Yeah.
I was in the
Oh, this guy was in This Is Us.
You know what I'm saying?
Series.
Power 2, that shit.
We wasn't gonna finish. I just wanted him to.
Oh, wow. My fault.
This guy trying to cut me off.
My fault.
Tell him they can book you and follow you. And then we was gonna get to Snapchat series. But look at this guy.
Look at this. You was about to end my day.
Nah, man. This guy.
Shine today.
This guy.
You can follow me on Instagram at Cash Addictions, Twitter at Cash So Addictive. I'm just starting to use my Twitter a little bit more now. Cash Johnson on Facebook, and my website is Cash Johnson Music. You can go there, check out all my music videos. Also buy some of my merchandise, creating wave shit, and we lit, man.
Definitely. Now talk about the damn TV show. We
We
leaving all this in here, by the way.
Nah,
we leaving all this in here, by the way, so that you know that Cash Johnson trying to cut me off. But we vibing, bro. He got so much to say. We just gonna let him say it. But definitely. So yeah, tell me about the TV stuff. I know you've been in a lot of Snapchat TV series and everything. So let me know, bro. What we doing?
So I was with my homegirl, Sweets, quote unquote homegirl. You know what I'm saying? But we was in a relationship. You know what I mean? And I broke up with her because she was doing some foul shit, and she asked me if I wanted to get a second chance on the show Second Chance.
Yeah.
And you know that shit was cool. That shit was seen all over like the US and wherever Snapchat is. And that shit was pretty cool, man. It was cool. She asked me for a second chance. I ain't give her one.
Yes.
We're not with that shit. So yeah, that's what that was about.
That's fine. And now, like you said, stepping out of the element and now getting into an even actor position and actually like move. So Cash Johnson, obviously, he's a singer now. He's a bar artist. He's a creative content guy, and he's also an actor. What does this guy not do?
Man,
you know what I'm saying? This is Cash Johnson.
But yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro. Like I said, appreciate you coming through.
You, man.
Thank you so much. Like I said, we are Jason Max and Cash Johnson. Sign off.
Jersey turned up entertainment. Entertainment.